Welcome back to a new YouTube video. Today we're with the school board attendant, is it?
Superintendent.
Superintendent,
Yeah.
my fault.
That's all
And
right.
then, so how have you been?
I'm good. It's always great to hang out with kids. So I understand you guys are doing a really cool project here at the Innovation Center. So.
Just for the camera, state your name and then.
Oh yeah, Dr. Van Huglem, your superintendent here in Winchester, and we're here at the Innovation Center working on a passion project. So look forward to it.
Okay, first question. When you think of a student in our district who is struggling the most, what is the single most important thing you want the student to feel when they walk into one of our schools?
That's a great question. So I think the single most important thing is that they feel seen, that they believe and have experience that an adult cares about them, knows their name, knows that they're struggling, knows that they can go talk to this adult if they need to. And I hope too our students provide that as well. I want to make sure our students care for each other. We need to be kind, even if you don't know someone, right? You can recognize when people are down, and even being kind, friendly to strangers is a culture that I hope we have in our schools.
Yeah, I feel like that's right.
Yeah,
because at my work, we always make sure the customer's seen.
Yes.
And if it's a usual, we know their name, their order, and I mean that makes them feel better about themselves.
That's right.
They want their coffee, and I mean that's good.
You feel good about yourself when someone knows your coffee order, right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then, when did you figure out that you wanted to be a part of the school board member? When did you realize you were oh yeah, I want to just benefit the next generation?
Sure. Yeah. So I started out as a teacher. I was a math teacher at a high school. And early on, when I was really young, in my early 20s, I knew that I wanted to have a bigger impact. And teacher, you have a great impact as a teacher on students, but I wanted to have an impact on what I call school design. And we've talked about that prior to the video here about how we designed the Innovation Center. And because of the design, students and teachers are thriving at a different level. They have more agency, they have more excitement, they feel good. And so, I was a big part of that, and I have been in my career, and I always I'm kind of like not a physical architect, but a learning environment architect is kind of how I see my job.
And how was it when you took the big jump from a math teacher to a superintendent?
Well, fortunately, it wasn't a big jump. There was a lot of steps in between. So first you become an assistant principal, then you become a principal, and then you go into another job in the division central office, and then I became a principal. So I was a teacher until 24 years old, and I didn't become a superintendent until I was 40. So it took, 16 years to go from point A to point B, and so I was in job A for 7 years, and then another job for 5 years, and you kind of build up to it. Yeah.
Okay. So there's you have to learn.
Yeah.
And then gain that experience.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So you would say that you love your job, you love it?
I do. Yeah, I do love my job. It's not without challenges. I mean, it's not easy all the time, but I love what I do. I believe in what we do here. I think it's, I feel like we're making a difference in your life and the lives of our students, and that when you're 10 years from now, when you're 30, I hope you look back and say, my school experience prepared me to be the adult that I am, and you're grateful. I love the human interactions that I get to have every day with parents, with students, with teachers, with community members, the mayor, and that's every day is a new day. Every day is different. I never have the same day. So I wake up, some things are planned, and then some things like this, I didn't even know this was going to happen today. And here I am doing an interview with 2 kids. So
and you created all this. Think about it.
That's right.
You can sit back when you're old, or not when you're
old.
A little old. You can sit back and be like, dang, I inspired the next generation.
There you go. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
You made an impact in our life.
Yeah.
We didn't think we were gonna have this.
Right.
Because when we were younger, we didn't see the IC. This was just Jean Kurt.
Yeah. Right.
And then it was just Hanley.
Yeah.
But then now when we came, we learned new things.
Yeah. Love it. That makes me very, very happy and proud.
When I heard of high school, I was terrified because of my older brother. He was kind of a really bad kid. He was always getting into fights and stuff, and then I was just scared of high school, to be honest. And then I came to the IC. I figured out that like it's not always like the same thing. I don't have to sit in a class all day and like listen to lecture, have like a lecture coming by like the teacher. I feel like I have a lot more freedom here.
Yes, and that's exactly what we wanted, because you know, I want to treat our high school kids like young adults, and I think many times we treat our high school kids like kindergartners, and we need to have high expectations and say you're accountable. You can't be silly and crazy all the time. You gotta do work and get things done. But by giving you guys that freedom, we're seeing that you like it better, the teachers like it better, and you're doing amazing work. Like the quality hasn't suffered at all. In fact, it's probably better. You're learning more. I mean, honestly.
Okay. And then to second question, what is a moment or experience in your career that fundamentally changed the way you view education or leadership?
Oh, I got so many, but
what is the main one? Like the main.
Well, building on the freedom, right? So, you know, as a dad, when my daughter's a senior, she's probably in class with y'all. So she's here at Hanley, she's a senior. But, you know, before going to school as a young kid, you know, 0 to 5 years old, you're doing all these crafts, you're like getting messy, there's just a lot of fun. She came home on her first day of kindergarten, and I said, Maggie, what'd you learn in school today? And she said, I learned how to stand in a line. And that was like, I was like, that's the last thing I want you to learn. But it was a symbol, right, of like school. Like you go, you have all this freedom, and then you go to school and it's super structured, right? You got to stand in a line, you got to wait your turn, you got to, you know, it's like regimented. The entire day is regimented. And there's a place for that, don't get me wrong. Like you can't have chaos, right? But it really led me to go on this journey for the next decade, or it's now been about 15 years of, you know, like school doesn't have to be that way all the time. We need to give our kids, including kindergartners, time to be free and to express themselves and not have all these tight parameters on themselves. And what I found is when you do that, when you let go a little bit, the students are pretty incredible. Like you guys are, you're enjoying it, but you do amazing things, even more than we thought you could do, right? And so that was an inspiration for me when, like I said, when my daughter went to kindergarten, and I kind of said, okay, my passion and commitment is to help redesign school to be more free for kids.
So do you believe in this? Do you believe that people say, like, because sometimes people be saying that school doesn't build you to like be like a person, they build you to be a worker. Do you believe in that?
You know, I've heard that too, and there's some truth in that. You know, I think there's, if you look historically, school was somewhat designed to produce very rigid factory workers, because, you know, let's say 50 years ago, a lot of people would go work in a factory. And well, what's a factory? Well, you go to this job and you do the same thing every day. It's pretty boring, pretty mundane. But that is not the economy that we live in anymore. I mean, there's still factory jobs, but even factory jobs require independence and agency. You've got to think for yourself. No one's going to tell you what to do every single second of the day. But the truth is, most of our economy is, quite frankly, what you guys are doing. Creating, being creative, being innovative, having an idea and run with it. And that's the new economy. So that's why this place is so important, because we're teaching you guys how to do that. And sometimes that includes failure, right? I mean, that's okay. You're going to fall on your face and say that didn't work. So I think we need to change the way school looks, specifically at the high school. High school has got to look differently, because when you guys graduate, the next day you're going to go into a world that's nothing like school.
Yeah, there's no one's going to be hovering over your back saying that, oh yeah, you failed this.
Yeah, it's complete freedom. And so we need to, like, school at 18 should look a little bit more like the real world, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay. And then, like, whenever it gets to like hands-on, like the innovation is hands-on and freedom. Like, it's not like freedom, but like it's freedom to like you're independent. You're doing what you want to do.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like that helps the students because, like, in reality, like electricity, welding, carpentry, like you're gonna start doing that in the real world.
That's right. Yeah. And you're doing it right now with this passion project, right? And you're it's yours, it's your idea, so you want it to be good. You care about the product. You don't want it to be bad, and you're learning stuff in the process too.
Also, with Miss Weinstein, also like she plays a big part in the IT.
Yes.
You could be the best welder in like the state, but people won't acknowledge you. And I feel like with Miss Weinstein, she really pushes you out there. Like she can get you internship, job shadowing.
That's right.
I feel like she plays a real big part of it. Like she's a phenomenal woman.
Yeah. Good shout out to Miss Weinstein. Yeah. She's a game changer, and she connects our students to industry, to get out of school during the school day, to go work in a job, to do a job shadow, to do an internship. And again, that's like the real world. Like I want you guys to be gone for first and second period for a couple of days and go hang out with a company, right? And work with other adults and see what they do. And sometimes you'll see it and you'll be like, yeah, this is great. And then other times you're like, I don't ever want to do that. But that's equally important for you to see things you don't want to do, right?
Yeah, because people could like want to do this for the rest of their lives, but then when they get into it, they'd be like, no, like, I'm stuck with this. I have to deal with it my whole life.
That's right. Yeah, very good.
Like you don't want to be disappointed in what you were passionate about before, but you want to like be like 100% in something you actually want to do. Yeah. And like Miss Weinstein, like we get field trips. Like she brought someone from the like I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Yeah.
He brought him, and then I learned like new things. Different like divisions in that, and like I get it. Like there's money involved.
Sure.
But like you want to still learn and like adapt into that environment.
That's right. Yeah. It's very important. Yeah, bringing those industry people in, and guess what? When I talk to those people, they're always so impressed with you guys. Like they are just like blown away by how articulate our students are, confident. You guys have a confidence about you. You're smart, you're kind, all the things. So they love coming here because our kids are really awesome. Yeah.
And I mean like, like there's some people that like are different and like how like they speak, but I feel like if they speak like that normally, it shouldn't be like off. Like what if someone was giving you attitude but you didn't think, like you didn't know?
Sure.
Like you shouldn't judge.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. And our kids get to practice too. Like when you're with adults, you're learning how the adult world works. You're not hanging out with your friends, you're working with adults and you're learning how to do that, which is great.
Okay. And then let me just what is the most meaningful piece of feedback you've ever received from a student, and how did you influence your decision making?
Well, I mean, I'll share two. One as a teacher, one of the things that I miss, because I don't get to hang out with students a lot. Like I'm working with the adults that then work with students. So when I was a teacher, obviously I worked with students every day. And what I loved about the feedback I got from my students in general was they always said, Dr. Van Hukelum, I was Mr. Van Hukelum at the time, you pushed us farther than we thought we could go. In other words, like I, as a teacher, was like, nope, we're going here. And they were like, I don't want to go there. Like, and I taught math. It was rigorous, it was hard. We did hard things together, and then they did it, and they gained so much confidence, right? They're like, oh my gosh, we did that. And so helping them get through that, but never compromising the excellence that I demanded from my kids. And so in math, at the end of the year, when they were taking their final exams and they blew it out of the water, had the best scores, that you can imagine. They were so proud of themselves because we really worked hard at it. It was, and I expected them to do well. So they appreciated that after, right? In my current job, this feedback is what gives me the most satisfaction, because even though I know this is happening every day at the IC, and I come here every once in a while and I hear and I see to think that I had a part, and many of us here did, in designing this space, and then to see that 5 years later, it's still making an impact on students, and they love it, and teachers enjoy it, and it's, you know, shaping your future career brings me great satisfaction. Yeah.
And then like what I've been trying to like with success, how did you feel when like your daughter graduated 8th grade and now she's a senior, and like now you see her graduating this year?
Oh wow.
Like how do you feel?
As a father, how do you feel?
As a father, I'm very proud.
Very proud.
Yeah. And it's been even more meaningful that my own child has gone through the school system that I look after, right? Which I hope communicates to this community that I believe in our teachers and our schools. I put my own kid here, and she's thriving as well, just like you guys are. And that brings me great pride. Yeah, it's a good question. I didn't expect that one. Yeah,
it's like, even you were a math teacher. What grade did you teach for math?
I taught pre-calculus and algebra 2.
Pre-calc, limit imaginary numbers.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I squared equals -1. Come on.
Like just seeing the students come from your class and graduating.
Yeah.
And like comparing that to your daughter, like that's like something like you like best imagine.
Yeah.
Like that's something like a great.
Yeah.
You could cherish that for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Very good.
And then
would that be all the questions?
There's like more of that.
Man, those are good questions, guys. Dang.
So yeah, let's do number 8.
We had an amazing English teacher.
Yeah.
Kennedy's very good teacher.
She's fantastic. Yeah.
What is your non-negotiable principle? The one thing you will always put first when making a challenge policy decision.
With the policy decision.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think when you make policy decisions, like the phone, right? The phone policy decision. Policy decisions are for everybody, and so you want to be sure that you're not creating a policy for a little sliver of a problem, right? So, for example, let's assume, I know this isn't true, but let's assume 2 years ago when we made the cell phone policy, it was only 5 kids in the whole division that had phones or were abusing their phones, right? And we made a policy decision for everyone because of 5 kids. Like, I don't agree with that. Like, deal with the 5 kids, handle that. We don't need a whole policy that governs everybody because 5 kids are not doing it the right way. The reason we had to have a policy because it was, including me, like it was pervasive. Like everyone is addicted to their phone, including the adults, you know, like, so it was a real problem. So that required a policy decision. But if it's not a problem for a majority of people, I try to find who is the problem with. Let's deal with the problem and the people that are involved in the problem, and not make a policy that is for everybody.
Actually, I think we were part of like the first experiment too, because I think, were you the one that put it with Miss Kogut freshman year?
Yep, that's right.
We were a part of that class.
Yeah, good.
So we were the first hand to actually experience the phone pouch.
There you go, yeah. And so that's another thing is test it, right, before you go full scale, because you make assumptions, right? We assume that if we eliminate phones, then grades are going to go up and social interactions will be better. And it's a good assumption because it's kind of counterintuitive, but we wanted to test it. So we did it first in Miss Kogut's class and a couple others, and then we surveyed you guys, right? And then we looked at your grades, and so we had data, and we said, hey, this actually really works. And then that led me to say, okay, it worked here, let's go full scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just looked at the feedback and like what it did.
Yeah.
The impact it did.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Good.
I think that's all the questions we have for you.
Thank you guys. Well, good luck. You guys are making a good video. I look forward to watching the whole thing. All right.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
All right. That'll be the finish of this vlog with the superintendent Victor, and me. Peace out, y'all.
Go. Hello, we're at John Hanley High School. We're here with Mr. Pierce, Algebra 2 teacher. All right, Mr. Pierce, what do you have to say about your fourth class? Tonight's the night. You heard it, everybody. Give it up for Mr. Pierce.
Woo!
Yeah.
Y'all gotta clap it, bro. Y'all gotta clap it.